Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Gangram. I'm the Director of Recruitment, Admissions, and Partnerships here at IBU. I just want to welcome everyone here for this delightful session filled with information, a little bit about your journey if you started it. And if you haven't, some more information about IBU, our programs, and some of the wonderful people that support your success in changing your life. But, we're waiting for some of your fellow classmates and or prospective students to join. So in the meantime, I'm just going to show a quick video of who we are, where we're located, and a little mini campus tour as well. All right, we'll just play this one more time and wait a couple more minutes as people trickle in. right. So I will premise that the campus video is a part of our campus. I would say it's only about 25%. Over the past year, we've actually grew both in staff to support all of your learning, but also in space to support a better atmosphere for you. So do know that we're among two floors with a lot more space, more classrooms, and again, more opportunity to network with your students. So before I begin, I want to do a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land that we're meeting on is in the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. So for those of you that don't know anything about us, we are International Business University. We thrive on helping students through their journey and make them career ready. We are an industry-based university. We look at skills that industry needs. We coach them up to make sure that you are, not just learning new things, but you're able to apply to the real world. So many of our programs, many of the methodologies which we impose to teach our students are going to be very hands-on, but carry theoretical background with our distinguished professors. We pride ourselves to be the first not-for-profit independent university in Ontario. What does that mean? It means that we allow a level of personalization, accessibility, and flexibility to provide you the best experience, whether that be from this point onward when you're looking for your next institution to learn, to when you're a student, to later on when you graduate, which we have some wonderful individuals to discuss that in a little bit. So where are we located? As you can see from the video, we're in the heart of downtown. For those of you that pride on business, that being where the action is usually half the battle. We have the big five banks within a kilometer of our campus. We are nested right in one of the most prestigious areas of Toronto, where you'll see a lot of business individuals. You may go to Tim Hortons and see some CEOs or some popular actors or actresses, given our positioning. But more importantly, it sets you up to really embrace yourself in culture. For those of you that are traveling from abroad, you want to really experience Toronto for what it is. And the welcomeness, the diversity. And when I speak about diversity, it doesn't necessarily mean, skin color or ethnicity. We're talking about experience. We're talking about different ages, different generations. And for example, myself, I was born and raised in Toronto, but my parents once migrated. So, the beauty of Toronto itself or the GTA is that it is an immigrant-driven community and or city where, I would say over 50% of our population are from new immigrants, whether that be first or second generation. So do know that it is a home away from home, no matter where you're coming from. We do also have another location a little bit west of us, very close to Yorkdale Mall, within Toronto again, which is only about 10 to 15 minutes of a subway ride, just to allow you a different feel, a different part of Toronto, but also extends us to kind of further support you via satellite campus. So I want to pause here because this is something that I'm personally very proud of, is our leadership team. We have Faradin, who is our chancellor, and he's also a member of the Order of Canada. What does that mean? He was recognized for the visionary leadership in education that he's impacted, not just Toronto, but education in general, whether that be domestically, whether that be internationally. He used to be the previous president of University of Waterloo. And he comes with a wealth of experience, but more importantly, passion for what we do, what we believe in, and what we want to provide all of you here today. Next, we have Joanne Shoveler. She is our current president and vice chancellor. She's very unique in her skill set in that a big part of her history has been around, from the student journey as being a student or when they graduate. And she's actually that total package where she's led, for example, Ivy Business School internationally to open up and launch their MBA program. And later in her career, she's worked with industry directly in advancement, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like, going to school, right? They want to see the fruits and the benefits when they graduate. And what does that mean? It means having a career that they love, making money for their loved ones, or to support a family or their goals, or to enjoy life, right? So, she's worked with a lot of stakeholders externally to kind of really understand what does industry need, what is needed for the economy, and what's really valuable for all of you to have from a skill set to be successful and to capture employment. So that's a little bit about her. And to wrap it all up, we have Dr. Artie Ng, which is an exceptional dean. He himself is an international student. He has many designations. For example, he studied in UK. He's from the Hong Kong Technical Institute, but he's also done his MBA at Rotman. So he understands what all of you are going through. He understands what it means to be international students, but more importantly, how to learn in different countries, different cultures, and how to make that one ecosystem that'll be supportive of you, which is the IBU way. So, he's come with vast amount of experience. He's developed an exceptional MBA and become where we can kind of look at driving success and giving you the skills you need. And nonetheless, we are on our way to AACSB accreditation. And he was an active part in the Hong Kong Institute to get them accredited. So do know that all the programs, especially in our MBA, follows the same guidance and quality that you would see from those institutions. So next, maybe I did a short introduction about myself. Again, I'm Jason. I'm here to support your journey. Whether that be if you're just thinking of going to university, or thinking of just going back to school, period. To helping with your documents, getting you enrolled and set up for your first day of school. And next, I can pass it off to Sedef to kind of explain her role and sort of what she does here.
Sure. Thank you, Jason. Hello, everyone. My name is Sedef. I'm the Student Support Services Manager. And we, as in the name, we support you in every way. So I will be talking more about it throughout the slides, but welcome one more time. And thank you, Jason. On to you.
Thank you. Next, I'll pass it off to Lysandra. I think she's going to be an exciting moment for this whole session. I'll pass it to you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Jason. Hi, everybody. It's really good to be here today. My name is Lysandra Lewis, and I am the immigration consultant for IBU. I'm on campus and I work with students as well as the registrar's office and the other departments to make sure that all of students' immigration questions are answered. And if they have any, questions about processes, work hours and all, I'm here to answer them. So I will be talking to you more as we go along today as well.
Thank you. And off to you, Dorothy. I think another critical part of IBU and your support.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dorothy Masiak-Zwolski. I'm the manager of career services. I will tell you more about details of career services, but career services at IBU are designed to help you to get a dream job tailored to your needs and educational needs and, the dream job you want to stay here in Canada.
Perfect. Thank you, Dorothy. And maybe if I can pause and just kind of, you can look at the screen and show you your actual support, right? You have my team here. They'll support you from, that thought, that dream of bettering yourself through education. And then you have at the end of your journey, Dorothy, that's going to help you, as she said, find your dream job and make those and apply those skills to go full circle. And do know that your relationship with us doesn't end when you graduate. We encourage you to come, engage, and be part of our alumni network. So next I'll pause because I think today's about you. So we want to do a quick little survey just to understand sort of how we can better support you and pivot this session so it's most beneficial. So take a moment if you can click and then we can go from there. All right, we'll give you about a few more seconds, maybe about a minute. Maybe it's your first test in a while, or your first multiple choice quiz, but it's important to us. All right, so maybe we can go on to the results. Okay. Perfect. Right. So as we tabulate, I'll move on just to be respectful of everyone's time. Again, we are a business school as it is in our title. However, we have very specialization. So maybe from a big picture, we do offer Bachelor of Commerce. It is a 4-year equivalent degree that is done in less than 3 years with multiple specializations. But I'll spend a little bit more time on our MBA because I know the bulk of students here that are attending are mainly concerned and interested in that. So let me go to the next slide. So here are MBA specializations. Leading the way is technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Here, obviously, it is what it is. It's those individuals that are, in tune with technology, want to learn technology. Oh, we got our as I assumed correctly, our MBA program is leading the way with a couple people in BCom. So I'm glad to see that. Studying in Toronto is the third, and career services is the second. So I will give Dorothy the heads up that you are the second most prized gem here in today's call. And I'll make sure that I cover a little bit about staying in Toronto, and then also Liz can speak a little bit about that student experience and so on as well in tandem with Sedef. So I'll just go next and speak a little bit about our specializations. Again, I'll spend a little bit of time here. So we do have technology, innovation, entrepreneurship. So these are individuals that maybe are coming the products of family businesses back home or here in Canada, and you want to create your own. Or those of you that have a great idea and you have no idea how to operationalize it, how to execute, or have no business skills, right? Do know that Toronto is the hub for many venture capitalists, and we are in some sense the future of the Silicon Valley up to Kitchener, Waterloo area. So there's huge opportunity for technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Another specialization is global business management. These are individuals that want to work in, work with international companies, people that want to scale, or even supply chain. For example, we do have a very strong supply chain network here, given that we are a service economy. So we are heavily dependent on those supply chain networks. For example, we have Amazon, distribution centers everywhere. And likewise in different areas of the GTA, we have huge million square feet data centers, distribution centers to support that. And back to what I referred to earlier about our positioning, when we look at our MBA in financial management analytics, the Canadian banking system is not even known within Canada or North America. It's one of the strongest financial systems in the world. For those of you that follow economics or history when it comes to business, you'll know when we had our recession, the one thing that saved Canada was our banking system, which kind of shielded us from the global recession and that of the US. The fact that, from our actual building, we can see all of the big 5 bank towers, and to know that you have the opportunity to network, actually be in proximity, and kind of live in that same ecosystem gives you not just the skills, but the networking opportunities to kind of go to mixers, go to networking events, go to financial events within the city that'll help support you and your brand as you become a student and you move on to graduation. The next would be information systems management. Here, we really don't teach you, the zeros and ones of programming or how to become an engineer, but instead, we always have the tech side and the business side. Here, we're going to teach you the best of both worlds and how to bridge those two. And that's important because what we've seen is a gap within that. We call IT, and I'll make a little joke. They say, I have a problem with my computer. And the first thing they'll say, did you restart? Yes, I restarted. But then, for example, in this program, we're going to teach you how to effectively lead, create strategy, and maybe even support digital transformation in certain organizations, or do digital projects when it comes to management, and really understand, the ROI, the P&L, and the strategy behind IT, and be able to work with IT to ensure the proper maybe product development or execution of products. So we all know that IT is the future, and technology is pretty much weaved all through our MBA specializations, but here we've highlighted it to make sure that you get a even more specialized approach. Something I also want to share is that the program length, it is 4 semesters. However, it's because we operate at a 3 semester per year cohort, it's done in only 16 months. So you have the equivalent of 2 years of an MBA that you'll finish in a year and 4 months. Our intakes are September, January, and May, but I do encourage you to start in January. I'll pass it on to Liz a little bit later to kind of understand why that urgency is important, and to clarify some of those immigration underlying I guess communications that you've probably heard from the news, to really share why starting sooner will be to your benefit. Here are some career opportunities in terms of where you want to see. I know this was a hot topic in our survey, and Dorothy can dig a little bit later. So if I as I shared earlier, product manager, if you want to go into technology and innovation, if you want to be in global business management, even government agencies, international trade is a huge market for Canada or the North American market. Financial management analytics, financial analysts, business analysts, data scientists, that is a huge opportunity here, because a lot of the decisions at leadership and at the business tactical level require data, and clean data, organized data. Here you'll really learn to do that and apply it in those careers. And last but not least is your IT fields, where very in-demand jobs. I encourage all of you to go on Indeed, type in any of these jobs, and you'll see thousands of jobs within Toronto itself, which makes Toronto even more attractive because of opportunity. Next, I'll go to program requirements. I'll spend a little bit of time here, not too much, because a lot of you are fairly aware. One thing I will say to caveat this whole slide is that we're very accessible. Not to the point where we're jeopardizing and really letting anyone in. We want to make sure there's diversity. People that have worked for 5-6 years, that may not have a high GPA, that may be a good opportunity for them to add their experience in the classroom. For those of you that are fresh graduates that have a high GPA, obviously you'll bring a level of intellect and studious and kind of theoretical smartness to that classroom. So, we are looking for diversity, but, your bare minimums is a undergraduate degree at 3 or 4 years, 2 years of work experience, and like everything, your IELTS or your English requirements, at this point, IELTS 6, or Duolingo 105, and I know some of you have taken PTE recently, and that would be of 60. Do know that we are waiving our GMAT because we want to make it accessible to all of you and other students as well. So do know that your work experience, your undergraduate degree are important, but also because of that experience, we want to make sure that we see a resume to really understand your story and how you would be able to support that learning journey with us. So I won't go into more details. There's a couple others, but I encourage you to reach out to myself in recruitment, or if you're working with an agent, to get more information there. Next, I'll pass it off to Lizandra, who is our RCIC here, to share some insightful and clarity around sort of rules and how she supports you while at IBU.
Thanks, Jason. Hi, everybody, once again. My name is Lysandra Lewis, and I am the immigration consultant for IBU. I'm also the International Student Support Manager out here, but that's a mouthful, so everybody just knows me as the immigration person. In the last couple of months, there have been a lot of changes that IRCC has come up with as far as international students go. So there have been changes to the PGWP eligibility, the spousal open work permit eligibility, the work hours, how much money you need to show for your expenses as well as your tuition. There's also the requirement now, the upcoming requirement for a provincial attestation letter as well. So there's been a lot of concerns in amongst students, and my job out here is basically to tell students what they can do, what they can't be doing while they're a student here on campus with us. Now, just a few things. One of the reasons why we're actually urging you students to actually put in an application in case you haven't done so as yet, but put in your study permit application is because of your postgraduate work permit eligibility. Nothing really has changed if you look at it. Since you will be completing a bachelor's and a master's program from a university, all fields of study are eligible. So you should put in your application as soon as possible. One of the changes that is going to be coming up is the requirement for a PAL, which is a provincial attestation letter. Now, that hasn't come in as yet. And because of that reason, we are not issuing PALs to MBA students currently. That will only come in later. So we do urge you to put in an application for your study permit as soon as possible. Now, having said that, please remember that the postgraduate work permit, every student is eligible. It's not a guarantee. When you finish your program, it's the officer assessing your file is going to have a look at everything. They're going to have a look at it, whether you were meeting the conditions of your study permit, whether you were getting good grades, whether you got into trouble with the law or you didn't get into trouble with the law. All of those factors play a big role in you actually getting the postgraduate work permit. So again, you have to ensure that you meet your conditions for it. Now, the spousal open work permit, that's an interesting one as well. Bachelor students, of course, are not they are not eligible except if they are in some fields of study. But for our master students, there's been a lot of concern even on campus students about this. But just to let you guys know, for you to apply for a spousal open work permit, you must be in a program, or the applicant must be in a program which is at least 16 months and over. And our MBA programs meet that criteria. You can accelerate the programs to 16 months, but so that's the bare minimum. It is a 2-year program, so you would meet that requirement. Once again, coming to the provincial attestation letter, currently at this point of time, it is not required. So we urge you to put in your study permit applications as soon as possible. Once the changes take place, and we are expecting them to go into effect probably by the end of this year, then masters will require a PAL, and it will be on, there will be a criteria for it. So please just do submit your study permit application as soon as possible. Another favorite topic of students once they are on campus or even when they are off campus is the work hours. And they keep coming to me and saying, Liz, how long can I work? At this point of time, it is still 20 hours a week. The 24-hour rule has not gone into effect. We're hoping that it will be updated for the winter semester, which we're hoping that most of you will be here for. But we're keeping a watch on this. So the International Student Supports Department, which is the Immigration Department, we hold a lot of webinars through the course of the program. Do join in for them. So whenever there is an IRCC update, it's a great forum to ask questions at that point of time. Now, coming to your study permit applications, please check all your documents before submitting your file. Make sure that you as an individual even no matter if you're working with an agent, whether you're working with a consultant, it does not matter. You have to check all of your documents because you are signing a piece of paper with IRCC saying that you're aware of the documents in your file. If there is any discrepancy, that could mean that that could be a cause for misrepresentation. So again, those will have further consequences, or they may have further consequences. So please, please, please check all of your documents before you submit them. Now, ensure also that you have a well-written study plan. This is very different from a statement of interest. A study plan will show you, is meant to show the officer exactly how you're going to benefit from a Canadian education or and especially a Masters of Business Administration program in your chosen specialization. So make sure that you have a study plan and it's not just a general statement. Make sure that you are showing enough of funds required, which includes your living expenses, which is now about $20,000. Your tuition, make sure that you're able um, to cover tuition as well and travel. So make sure that you have all of these things with you, and that you're making a good plan as well. Okay, and that's about it from my side. And of course, I will be taking questions as well later.
All right, thank you, Liz. And maybe on that same note, do know that we're going to be opening up the Q&A in about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I know we're scheduled here for only an hour, but do know that we'll do our best to even go into a little bit of overtime to support some of your questions. So, keep those in mind and we'll address them. So next, another hot topic, I guess, for our department and for all of you is tuition. And what does that investment in yourself look like? So, it's very affordable, and I'll go back to return on investment. We always look at, education as an investment. Even from my end growing up, my father's always said, the one thing that someone can't take from you is your education, because you're truly investing in yourself and for your generations to come. So our tuition fee is a mere $35,700 for our MBA, and those of you that are from LATAM and Philippines, you can benefit from additional scholarships of 5,000 and 2,500 respectively. How to apply? Like I said, you can go online, click apply now, fill out an application, and then within a day or so, ideally in the same day, depending on time zones, you'll be reached out from one of our teammates to kind of walk you through that personalized approach and support. Because as Liz and Dorothy and Sadaf will say, we pride ourselves on providing that personalized experience and support that you may not benefit from other institutions. And if you're working with an agent, I encourage you to go and inquire with them and get your applications in to kind of echo what Liz says before you're affected by any other newer immigration rules that come into effect. Next, I want to do a quick survey to kind of understand where you are in your journey so we can better support you and in order to allocate resources. So the first being your inquiry, second, if you're doing your application or you've applied, the other being if you've gotten an offer, and the other one, if you've paid your deposit and you're kind of just waiting to come here, which would be the enrollment stage. We'll give you about a minute to check it so we can better know how we can support you here. Maybe while we wait, something I can share, we do have a special guest that may be joining us, which is an instructor. She may be, she'll give you kind of a day in the life of a student and what she does to support all of you. Her name is Nida. So she'll be coming at the back end just to kind of give you a cherry on top to this webinar. All right. So, something I can share is that over half of you are, waiting to start. So congratulations. I think the hardest step is done, which is making that decision and and making that choice to choose education. The runner-up would be those of you that are needing to pay a deposit. Back to echoing what Liz said is, let's get those applications in. You can send in those proof of applications to admission@ibu.ca, and we'll make sure that we've provided additional support and ensure that we can support you in that visa journey, and prepare for your first day. The rest of you do know that we'll reach out to you individually, whether it be by email or by phone within the next, I would say, 2 days, to know how we can get you with that offer, address any questions you may have, and support you with your application. Right. So why study at IBU? I know I've touched on this a little bit. Give me 1 second here. We are part of memberships. As I said, we're on track to get our AACSB certification. The first step is being a member. They've recognized our programs to be open and eligible, and we have Dr. Artie Ng kind of leading that charge. We are also part of Prime, which again supports a quality assurance from the development and delivery of our programs. We have experienced faculty. I encourage all of you to go on our website and look at About Us. Something that we pride ourselves on is our experienced faculty and our board and our PAC members, our Program Advisory Council. You can see there's some really impactful individuals, both in economy, in academia, and in passion, that really, really are here to support the IBU vision, to support all of you and provide the best product and experience. We've already touched on PGWP, and I've kind of touched on community of Toronto, but do know that becomes even that much more intimate once you become an IBU student. Next, I'll pass it off to Sedef to kind of dig it a little deeper there. Off to you there.
Thank you, Jason. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to International Business University's virtual open house. As introduced at the beginning, but for those of you who are not there, my name is Sedef, and I'm the Student Support Services Manager here at IBU. I'm excited to take you through the range of support services we provide to ensure that our students have a rewarding and successful experience, both academically and personally, during their journey, during their actually educational journey here in Toronto, IBU. We understand the unique challenges here that come with pursuing higher education, especially for our international students. Our goal is to create an inclusive and supportive environment where every student feels empowered to thrive. Today, I'll be sharing with you how we do that and the resources available to help you throughout your journey here at IBU. We're dedicated to assisting students in navigating their academic journeys, whether they need help with adding, dropping, or changing courses, understanding their grades, or filing appeals. The team is here to provide guidance. We also support students with course program withdrawals, transfer credits, or provide any kind of documentation that they would need. Recognizing that students studying abroad can bring about a range of emotions and challenges, and we offer one-on-one assistance, a variety of mental health resources, and guidance counseling to ensure that students are well supported throughout their time here at IBU. To further enhance the academic experience, IBU offers peer tutoring services. This fantastic resource helps deepen students' understanding of the curriculum. Working with a peer tutor allows them to receive personalized attention and explains in a one-on-one setting tailored to their individual learning styles. At IBU, we believe that the university experience extends beyond the classroom. We're dedicated to fostering a vibrant and inclusive community where students can connect, engage, and grow. And here's how IBU helps students make the most of their time here in Toronto. We provide numerous spaces and opportunities for students to meet and connect with peers who share similar interests. Building these connections is a vital part of the university experience, and students are encouraged to take advantage of these opportunities. Active participation is the key to a fulfilling campus life, whether through attending events, joining clubs, or participating in community building activities. Students are encouraged to engage fully in the IBU community. Their involvement will not only enrich their university experience, but also help them develop lasting friendship and networks. And Dorothy will be talking about networks very shortly. We're proud of the diverse community here at IBU, as mentioned by Jason before, and we're committed to promoting understanding and inclusion. Through various initiatives, we strive to create a welcoming environment where everyone feels valued and respected. A key part of the experience here at IB involves active participation in the student community. Throughout the year, we offer a wide range of events, workshops, webinars, and speaker series designed to support students' personal and professional growth. The clubs and community building activities also provide excellent opportunities for involvement, helping students make the most of their time here. Along with that, at IBU, we understand that students' well-being is crucial to their overall success and experience. That's why key external partnerships have been established to support students in various aspects of their lives while studying here. And I would like to mention what those partnerships are. Gardening, first of all, health is very important for all of us. And students' health is a top priority, and we're pleased to have GuardMe as our health insurance partner. They provide comprehensive health insurance coverage specifically designed for international students, ensuring they have access to essential health services during their time abroad. As part of their health benefits with GuardMe, students also have access to mobile doctors through Maple, a telemedicine service. This allows them to connect with Canadian doctors anytime, anywhere, using their phones, tablets, or computers. Whether they have a medical concern or need consultation, Maple makes it easy to access healthcare professionals across Canada. At IBU, we understand that academic success is closely linked to overall well-being. That's why we're proud to partner with Reflections Mental Health Group, a dedicated organization that provides crucial mental health support to our students. In today's fast-paced world, mental health is more important than ever, as we all know, and we strive to ensure that our students have access to resources that promote balance, resilience, and a positive mindset. This partnership reflects our commitment to supporting the holistic development of every individual at IBU. Housing. Of course, coming from abroad, especially, finding the right place to live is a crucial part of the experience, and we are committed to supporting students every step of the way. We're dedicated to helping students find comfortable, convenient, and safe housing options that suit their needs. Recognizing that each student has unique requirements, IBU aims to provide a wide range of housing solutions, as you can see on the screen, tailored to meet those diverse needs. Our student support services team is available to guide students through the housing process, offering expert advice, answering questions, and providing trusted resources to help them make well-informed decisions about their accommodation. We do have many other external partners, but I would like to mention a few. We're really thrilled to collaborate with several others who can enrich the experience of students and support various aspects of their lives in Canada. Service Canada, you will hear that a lot here because they provide essential government services and information to support international students. Representatives will be present on Orientation Day in January to assist IBU students with various administrative needs, including information on work permits, social insurance numbers, health cards, and other services they might require during their time here in Canada. This ensures that students have access to resources they need to navigate their new environment effectively. ISX Tours is Canada's leading international student tour operator, offering exciting opportunities for IBU students to explore the country. It's a fantastic way for them to see more of Canada and this side of the world and create unforgettable experiences. This is the fun part of studying here in Canada and Toronto. With affordable tours specifically designed for students, ISX helps enhance their time in Canada by combining adventure with cultural immersion. Staying active is essential for overall well-being, as we all know, and IBU offers the convenience of a Good Life fitness branch located in this very same building as the classes here at 80 Bloor Street West in Toronto. You just go down the stairs and you're in this great gym. IBU students benefit from discounted membership rates, making it easier to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Regular exercise, as we all know, not only supports physical health, but also positively impacts focus, energy levels, and academic performance. With easy access to state-of-the-art fitness facilities, students can prioritize their health without leaving campus, which is very good, especially in the cold Toronto days. If preferred, they're also welcome to visit any Good Life location closer to their home. ILAC, International Language Academy of Canada, offers language courses and cultural programs designed to enhance students' English skills while immersing them in Canadian culture. Every IBU student is entitled to a free 4-week English language course at ILAC, providing an excellent opportunities to strengthen their language proficiency and ease their transition into both academic and everyday life in Canada. I would like to thank you for taking the time to be here with us today at our virtual open house event. Our commitment is to ensure that every student has access to the resources and guidance they need to succeed, whether in their studies or personal development. I'm confident that with the support we offer, you'll feel empowered and well prepared throughout your time with us here at IBU. Now, I'd like to hand it over to my colleague, Dorothy, our Career Services Manager, who will walk you through the opportunities and support we provide to help you navigate your career path and achieve your professional goals. Thank you, and here's on to you, Dorothy.
Hello, everyone. Again, welcome to IBU Virtual Open House. I'm the manager of career services at IBU, and I would like to tell you more about our very unique career services we provide. So basically, our career services are designed to help you transition smoothly from academic life to professional success. So your success is our goal. These are the career services at IBU. We provide varieties of workshops and seminars, and these sessions cover of a wide range of topics, including resume writing, interview skills, interview preparation, mock interview, all interview techniques, job search strategies, networking, and adapting to Canadian workplace culture. We also offer specialized one-on-one appointments to support you in your job search, and those appointments are focused on analyzing your skills and interest assessments, one-on-one career coaching, and other customized career planning. We also offer guest speakers and networking events, as networking is very important to connect you with employers and in the future to find a good job. So we regularly host industry leaders and successful entrepreneurs who share their expertise and experience with our students. And these sessions provide invaluable insight into various industries and career paths, which is connecting with local employers, entrepreneurship journeys, industry insight, and career reflections. You can connect with our guest speakers on LinkedIn and connect with them, even make an appointment with them. They're gonna be your mentors in specific field. Right now, we even offer the LinkedIn Learning. This is available for all students at IBU. The LinkedIn Learning is a personalized learning experience through recommended learning content relating to your education, job title, skills, and industry. As I said, your success is our goal, and I hope to see you all at the campus. Thank you.
All right. So I gave you guys all a break from my voice, so hopefully it'll be refreshing to hear different voices. Next will be a voice of familiarity. Give me one moment here. I just want to make sure that she's here. All right, so I'll move on because we are running a little bit limited on time. Because I want to make sure that you hear Nida's part, because I know studying in Canada was important. So next, I'll pass it off to Dr. Nida Dilshad, who's one of our faculties here and very, very passionate in what she does, and she can kind of walk you through the day in the life of a student.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As Jason has just introduced me, my name is Dr. Nadil Shad, and I'm a finance faculty at this prestigious institute, IBU Toronto. I'm going to briefly talk about that, why our MBA is overall, like why choose our MBA and what is different in our MBA program as compared to any other program out there in the market, and what makes a difference. I'm going to talk about a few points here. The next slide, Jason. Thank you. So what sets our MBA apart? Number one point is all about experiential learning. So like I told you, it's not just any regular MBA. We focus a lot on experiential learning where we have made sure that student get hands-on experience through simulations, projects where they can apply theoretical knowledge in the real world scenarios. We also offer a global perspective. So we're not just going to teach you what is happening in the Canadian markets. We're also going to focus on the international markets as well so that you can effectively operate, or you can effectively have a good perspective in a globalized economy as well. We also focus on innovative teaching methods as well, where we use modern approaches such as case studies, technology integration to enhance learning outcomes. We also focus on leadership development as well, where we understand the importance of leadership skills, and you need to learn those skills such as decision making, communication, team management, so that it can prepare you for future managerial roles as well. We focus also on industry aligned curriculum as well. So it's not just outdated curriculum. We understand what are the industry requirements from time to time. The markets are pretty dynamic. So we make sure that our curriculum is very up to date, and you should know what is happening in the markets. And that's why we are very focused on the industry aligned curriculum. And then the last point is the applied business cases, where we make sure that you analyze not just outdated case studies. We make sure that you analyze real world business scenarios up to date to develop practical problem solving skills and strategic thinking as well. So I think these are the main points which sets our MBA apart. And as I mentioned before, it's not just any regular MBA. So it will add a lot to your profile, a lot to your skills, and it will bring out the best in you as an individual and as a professional out there in the market as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nida. I had a classic "you're on mute" moment there. I apologize. So, I want to say thank you, and like Nida shared, when we look at technology, we just recently got Bloomberg terminals, which is gonna kind of give you that application, and I almost want to treat our schooling like a long interview, right? It's your opportunity to make mistakes and have Nida, someone very experienced, both in and out of the corporate world, to kind of coach you through it, right? Here you may get a bad grade. In the real world, you'll get fired, right? So we encourage you to be open, to participate, make those mistakes, and do know that not just us, but faculty like Nida are there to help support you, both whether it be in working through those opportunities, or if you're a eager beaver and you want to go from good to great, we'll get you to exceptional throughout that journey. So next we'll go to, give me 1 second, I was supposed to go backwards. Next we'll go to Q&A. So if we can open the Q&A, I know we're at about 9:53 local time, which means we have about 7 minutes left. But do know I'll stay back for an extra 15 minutes just to make sure that we address your most critical questions. And do know that if we don't get back to you, we're going to be most likely doing an FAQ, or we can just send off a couple emails to kind of address any of those common emails or questions we have. So let me stop sharing, and then we can go to Q&A here. All right. So I have a question here around summer breaks. So if I can pass it off to one of my colleagues and say, if you're going through the January intake, will you get a summer break, and how would that work?
Yeah, I'm going to take that question, Jason. The way the program is scheduled is that after every 2 semesters, students are eligible to take what we call a scheduled break. if a student requires a scheduled break, or if they require to be working, this is the best time for you to actually take the scheduled break, because then you're able to work full-time hours. At any other point of time, you are limited to the 20 or maybe 24-hour a week rule that IRCC has. And if you take a leave of absence, which is an unscheduled break, then you're not allowed to work at all. So after 2 semesters, you can take a break. You are eligible to take a break, and we encourage you, if you require it, to take a break at that point of time.
All right, awesome. We did have some questions around program and change of program. Do know that the first semester is usually common for your fundamentals and your foundation courses. We do encourage you to try to choose the right program the first time when you do apply. And then thereafter, if you say you have a change of heart, do know that, connect with the registrar or someone in student services, and then we can always look at transitioning you to another specialization. The next question is around waiting for your biometrics and so on. So do know that, yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Liz. At this point, I think November 1st / October 31st is the date that we are sure of. As long as you put your application through, there shouldn't be any changes, and you'll be grandfathered from previous policy. However, we can't speak to the future. Liz, did you want to add to that, or am I fairly correct in that statement?
Fairly correct, but again, the November 1st deadline, so any student who is applying um, for their study permit after November 1st, again, you do have to take the English test when you're applying for your PGWP. However, the field of study requirement doesn't apply to university programs. So the master's program is exempt from it. But yes, you do want to have that application put in as soon as possible, because you don't want the threat of the PAL looming over you. So at this time, again, the PALs are not in place. It's not the programs don't require it, so put in your application as soon as you can.
All right. Thank you very much. The next is around the schedule. So I think it is Sadef, if you can answer that around the schedule, how many
Sure.
hours a day and so on.
So every MBA student gets two classes per block. In the semester, we have 2 blocks, 7 weeks of each, and you get 2 classes. So you do complete 4 classes at the end of each semester, and it's 2 days a week, and each class is about 3 hours long. But then the professors might ask you to be online for some extra hours.
All right, perfect. Thank you. There are some questions around insurance. Your insurance will come once you are a student. So I encourage all of you to connect with GuardMe, if you want to proactively get some more information, but do know that your coverage does start once you start school as your first day of class. In terms of laptops, we do not provide laptops, but we do encourage all of you, for the 58-ish% that are here that have already enrolled and will see us here in January, ideally, do bring your laptop with you on registration day. It is important, as we know that, the days of papers and pencils are gone. And now we've really, really embraced, especially at IBU, technology and providing that success towards graduation and so on. Give me 1 second. Next question's around scholarships. As I shared, we do have scholarships for LATAM and Philippines. We have positioned ourselves to be affordable, right? We can always play the market and say, hey, our MBA is 50,000, we're giving you a $15,000 deposit. We don't believe in that. As being a nonprofit, we want to provide you the best price, the best investment upfront, so you can make an informed decision. And do know that the quality of education is far beyond that investment that we're asking. So do rest assured that you are getting great value when studying our MBA or our BCom programs here at IBU.
Jason, I saw a question from a couple of students who are asking how soon they should arrive in Canada for the January intake. So I'm going to take that question.
Perfect. Yeah.
if you already have a study visa, right? So if you already have your student visa and you're able to come, there's no timeline that has been said that you should travel 2 months or 3 months ahead of time or 1 month ahead of time. However, keep in mind that if you travel too early, sometimes immigration officials have questions. So we would encourage you at least about 4 weeks before 4 to 5 weeks before your classes start. Um, that's a good time to come in. That will allow you enough of time to find, if you haven't already arranged for a place to stay, it will allow you time to find a place to stay. You'll be able to explore the city a bit as well, get used to, get used to the winter, get used to transit, get used to how people talk about north, south, east, west, which was very difficult for me at first. But so give yourself enough of time for that. Have a good, uh, again, if you have a place to stay, for sure, make sure that you are answering that question from the immigration officers very clearly and very confidently. Um, Also, please know that if you do come up ahead of time, you are still not allowed to work till you start class, which is only going to be in January. So please don't come ahead of time thinking that you're going to find work and you'll be able to start work. That's a mistake that a lot of international students tend to make. So please don't do that, because again, then you are violating the conditions of your study permit. So you want to make sure, especially given the time for being an international student, you want to make sure that you're doing everything by the book, and so that your future plans are not put into jeopardy. So yes, coming ahead a few weeks before Christmas is a great time. The city is beautiful. It is cold, but the city is going to be beautiful at that time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. There's another question just to piggyback on that around, if they've already submitted their application, will the new laws be affected by that individual? At this point, as long as you've submitted your visa application this month, you'll be grandfathered into the previous policy. So the next question is around when should you upload your language certificate? Ideally, you want to do it as soon as possible and share that with us here directly at IBU, via the registrar's office or with your agent, and have them pass it on to us, because you will need that as you go through the motions of your visa application, but also more importantly to ensure that you get un your letter of acceptance without conditions. Applied for, yep, you can switch courses. All right, so if you've already got an offer letter, you are open to pay your tuition. If you're waiting to do your IELTS, we are just trying to make it a little bit more accessible and easier, where we've provided an offer on the basis of you booking your IELTS. Just as a one-off. So do know that you can pay your tuition, and once you provide your results, we can redo your letter of acceptance to be without conditions of language. All right. You had someone had a question around internships, and I know some of you are also interested around the capstone, and if I can kind of go back to what Nida shared as her last point in terms of case based, we do have a capstone, which is pretty much like an internship. We give you a real case scenario, whether that be a research paper, whether that be doing a business plan, and indirectly launching your own venture with the support of your instructors to give you that feedback. So we kind of treat that hands-on experience at the end of your program, where we wrap up the whole theoretical approaches and package it off into an application-based program or course called your capstone. So we've kind of made that. And the beauty of Toronto is, why do an internship? Because the majority of internships are free. So why take that time to do free work when we can get out there, work with Dorothy and her team to ensure that you're employed and find that fulfilling dream job that you want. Next is are we going to be writing exams at the end of semester for each MBA program? Maybe if I can pass it on to one of my colleagues to share sort of what that assessment kind of criteria looks like as being a student.
I'll take that. Okay, so as I said before, our semesters, it might be a little bit different than the regular universities because in each semester we have 2 blocks. So within the block, your 2 courses, your professors do assess you throughout the way. So it's not only one assessment, and there is really not one exam week, but we do have a reading week in the middle of the blocks. So you have to be present in those 7 classes and take the assessment whenever your professors ask you to do so. So it's very important. The attendance is very important. And I did see a few questions. I'll go on to registration as well, Jason, because they're asking how they can register themselves, how they can get registered. For the first comers, we do the registration for your 2 courses for the first block, and then there's self-registration, and it's all in the mail that's conveyed to the students, so you'll be able to do it yourself. But for the first block, we do the registration for you.
All right. Perfect.
Jason, there is a question about schedules, and there's a couple of questions about how does the scheduling work, and how do you get enrolled into classes? I'm quickly going to take that. Typically, students are enrolled into 2 courses per block. So in a semester, there are 4 courses. So there's 2 courses for 7 weeks and then 2 courses for another 7 weeks. In the first semester, when you come in the first block of the first semester, till now, we have enrolled students into their courses, so you haven't had to do that on your own. We will be letting students know if this is going to moving to a self-enrollment very shortly. So when the emails start going out, please make sure that your updated email is with us. When those emails go out, you may be able to enroll into your courses yourself. So it's going to be 2. So you get to choose 2 courses for block 1 and 2 courses for block 2.
All right, perfect. Thank you. We have one question, and it's probably a burning question for some of you, is how much time do we take to provide an LOA? I want to say that, there's many factors there. We do want to make sure that when we give an LOA, all the documents are there. If you're missing documents, I'd say reach out to your agent, provide them to your agent, or provide it to us directly. Again, you can email admission@ibu.ca with those documents, and we can fulfill them. It will fall anywhere between 3 to 5 business days at a bare minimum, provided that you make your payments and everything is aligned. So I do also want to caveat or share that we only take payments via CIBC ISP, which is International Student Pay. So it does take anywhere between 2 to 4 days for those funds to clear. So just understand there's processing beyond our control there. Once we get our payments, within 2 business days, give or take, we will provide you an LOA. And that's why I say it'll be give or take 5 business days from making your payment via CIBC to get your LOA. In the event that, you do, you're at day 7, day 9, feel free to reach out to myself directly, and I'll be able to support you there. Okay. Next we have, sorry, I'm just going through some questions because some of them are repeated. Okay, so one's around deferrals. Do know that if you've applied for a deferral, we are processing deferrals. We are at the latter stage of doing that if you have deferred from fall to winter, which would be January. So if you haven't received your deferral letter by Monday next week, again, reach out to me directly. Or have your agent reach out to me directly, and I'll get that resolved on a personal level. Okay. I have yes, you can switch majors between MBA programs, but I do encourage you to do that at the front end, if not before enrollment, because say you do it in maybe semester 3 or 4, not 4, but in semester 2 or 3, there might be some specialization courses that you may not get credit for and may have to do, which will incur you more cost and or more time. So, I encourage you to make that decision upfront before you start, or at least in the first semester. How long are breaks between semesters? correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Sadef or Liz, I believe it is 2 weeks.
Yeah, it depends on the semester product. Liz, go ahead. Go ahead, Liz.
No, in the middle of the semester, we have the reading week. So that's not a break, but it's when your assignments and all are due, but you don't have classes during that time. At the end of the semester, there is a reading week, and then there is a break at that point.
Perfect. So it is indirectly a working week, and the beauty of that is we want you in and out and chasing your dreams as soon as possible. We're not like your typical university where sometimes you would have a month break, a fluff, right? So do know that we want to make sure that we're effective and efficient in getting you successful. Next is this one I want to address, and maybe Dorothy, I can pass it on to you because I think it is important. The question is, I've heard from many sources that Toronto is a bit challenging to get a job for an international students. Do you have any information on that? If I can share a little bit, and then I'll pass it on to you, Dorothy, is that from a big picture, Toronto, if we look at Toronto or the GTA, it is 5 to 6 million people, if not more, when we look at commuters. A lot of you are coming from large hubs. Where there's the most people, there's the most consumption, whether that be by service, by product, or by infrastructure. If we look at those of you that are familiar with the GTA, we have a city within the GTA called Mississauga. Mississauga itself is larger than Vancouver in BC. So if we compare that to Toronto as a city, there is loads of opportunity. And as I shared earlier, put in, business or administration or customer service in Indeed and put Toronto, you will find at least 5,000 to 10,000 jobs available. So my suggestion is do your homework. Don't believe what people say. This is your dream. This is your life. Take control and get it from the right sources. On to you, Dorothy.
Yes, Jason, I totally agree with you. And GTA, I can say, is the best area to get a job, and especially for international students, because employers are familiar with students' struggle. And if someone wants to get the job, get the job. And we support students in all steps of the job search. We support them with the resumes, searching up for the employers, and students, they're gonna be all set up.
Perfect, thanks. This one's for you, Liz. It says, what happens if IRCC doesn't respond after one deferral? Can we request for another one?
IRCC?
Yeah.
For a deferral?
Yes. If they don't respond to the first for one deferral, can they do another request for another one?
I'm not sure what the person means by that. If you have put in a study permit application, the study permit application would be processed. The deferral, when you put in a deferral, it is with the university. So we defer you from one intake to the other intake. IRCC doesn't have anything to do with that. If you can always update IRCC with your deferral LOA, or you can carry your LOA when you are coming here to show them proof that yes, you have been deferred from, say, if you're doing from the fall intake, you've been deferred to the January intake, you got your visa in time only for January. So you can carry your updated letter of acceptance at that point of time. But IRCC doesn't defer. They would do extensions. They would do new study permit applications.
All right, perfect. This one may be you, Liz, as well. The question is, I would like to ask if you do think it would be hard to acquire a PAL in the future because they don't know if they're able to submit their study permit before January 2025. So actually, let me start that answer. At this point, I think the educational system is asking the same question. The only thing I can advise you to do is, do your best to apply for your study permit as soon as possible. Liz, would you agree with that statement, or do you have anything to add there?
Absolutely. I would agree with you, Jason. Do try and put in your application before the rule for the PAL comes in. Please remember that every institution across Canada is going to have a limited number of PALs. And those PALs are going to be how they allot those PALs to their students is going to be based on various factors. Sometimes it might just be on first come, first serve basis. So if you are applying late, institutions may not have that PAL to give it to you because they've already given it to another student who has applied early enough. So again, if you are able to, please don't wait till the last minute. Send in your request, get in your letter of acceptance, pay your deposit for your letter of acceptance as early as possible so that we can do our due diligence as well. And that's one thing less that you have to worry about. Now, if you are not able to make it in time for January or till the time this rule is not in effect, again, work with your agent. Again, if you're working with an agent, connect with them. They will connect with our team, and like I said, when the PALs do come out, every institution is allotted them, and there's only a finite amount of PALs that are going to be available.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We have a question around employment reference. You got your pre-offer. So what I would say is, what defines an employer reference? It would be a reference letter, not of a confirmation, but like a job letter saying, what would be part of your job duties, what you did, your job title, your duration of work, pretty much, to support your resume. So it's not like a confirmation of employment, but more of a letter discussing the description of your employment as a part of your employer references. Give me 1 second here, just reading here.
Jason, there's a lot of questions about transcripts during registration. Maybe I can mention
Yeah,
that.
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so when you come to registration, make sure you bring your original transcripts. They can be in a sealed envelope from your university or can be open, but it needs to be original, and also it needs to be in hard copies. So make sure you bring those with you, along with all the other documents that you have to bring. Thanks.
Thanks. And feel free, anyone here, if you want to answer any questions, jump in, because
Yeah,
there's
I'm
quite
also
a bit.
I'm going to jump in there as well, Jason.
Yeah.
For transcripts, in fact, for those of you, if you have applied for a transcript, or if you are applying for a transcript from your school, and it's going to take a long time for the transcript to reach us by post, please know that we have an option of you emailing the transcript to us. You can email it to registrar@ibu.ca. Your school, and it needs to come, for it to be counted as an original transcript, it needs to come directly from your school to our school. You cannot forward it to us. So send it from your school to our school, and we will treat it as an original transcript.
Perfect. I have one great question. You already have your visa. What do you do now? I encourage you to send that visa or that letter to us so we can update our systems. And also share your original email. For some of you in this chat or in this webinar, I know a lot of you are working with agents or third parties. I encourage you to email admission@ibu.ca, or thereafter we're going to send you some instructions of how to update your personal emails in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's going to be imperative for you to understand next steps like orientation, what next, and what it means to start being an IBU student, to give you that peace of mind.
Jason, I did see a question out there about jobs for students. So I know that we have Rupali out here, who is a student here with us. So Rupali, if you can just jump in and talk about your job, what you did to find work, and how you went about getting it, that would give, the students a great idea.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. Hi, everyone. I'm a student. I'm in my third semester right now. I've completed 10 months in this country. I'll be completing a year soon. My job process was, initially I started working for the university. I wanted to contribute something towards our university where I was studying. So later it transformed where I could build up a few skills with the right mentorship. With everybody here on the panel have contributed to a large extent in me helping me build it one day at a time, and with the right set of interviews and learning day by day, I've been able to work. And so, yes, there are on-campus opportunities, not just for me, for many others as well who are working in various roles. But since we are located at a very premier location, I would say on the Bloor Street, we are surrounded by so many great organizations as well in the vicinity that I think you will have plethora of options. It's just that we have to ace ourselves and improve ourselves and learn ourselves every day.
Awesome. Maybe if I can, ask you another question, and this is maybe one on a personal note. Maybe you can share sort of your first day in Canada and now 10 months later, and how you navigated that, because I'm sure everyone or a big part of the population there will or are in your shoes. And they'll really, really take your words of wisdom to heart.
So I understand we all come from various backgrounds. I came from India, and especially Delhi, which was quite advanced, I would say. And I'd seen the culture in there as well. But when I came to Toronto, it was a complete change because there was so much diversity on the campus as well. And in the vicinity, when you'll see, so initially you have barriers of culture where you don't know how to engage in conversations with people from various backgrounds. Plus, I came from a country which prefers academics only in terms of pen and paper examination modules. So learning it through case studies and these things have changed my way of talking and communications and built in leadership at very coarse levels wherein I know how to communicate better. And sometimes we know a lot of things, but we don't know how to portray it. So from my first day to this day, I would say every day, I just don't know something very academically. I try to put it into words, sentences, PowerPoint presentations, pitches, decks in whatever manner possible, one step at a time. So that's the transition. Thank you for the question.
Thanks. What I will do, I'll spend another 4 minutes on questions, then we'll close it off. And then we'll answer any other questions via email or an FAQ. So I apologize if we haven't we've gotten a lot of engagement, which is good, which makes me happy that I can support you all, but it also shows that you're very eager to join with us. So we had one question around social groups. We do have social groups, whether that be virtually or on campus. Maybe if I could pass it off to one of my teammates to kind of talk about what committees or social events we may have on campus.
I'll take that. We do try to have events around important days, about cultural days here in Canada, and about the diversity important days, so that, as I said in my in the slides as well, those events really make the student community come together. We have a student council as well, so when you're here on campus, you can be a part of the student council, and they do organize events along with the student support services. Of course, our social media is there virtually. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Another question is, someone's on a pathway from ILAC or any English pathway. We have given an unconditional letter of acceptance. So do know that, you do know that, you do need to apply for a visa as soon as possible. So the sooner the better, the way you can go from there. Okay, I'll do 2 more questions and then we'll break. Let's see. Schedule, a lot of questions around schedule. So it is 2 days a week. The 2 days are not defined yet. You'll know that closer or at registration time, which would be usually a week before the start date, and the start date will be in the first week or second week of January.
Jason, I'm going to just answer. I saw a couple of questions about people who said they have their visa and what do they do now. Well, if you have your visa again ahead of time, that is great. Please, just like Jason already said, don't forget to update us. Send us that proof that you have your visa, so that we can make a change, update your status in our system as well. Once that is done, make sure, if you get a good deal on a ticket, make sure that your tickets are booked well ahead of time. You want to beat the rush. You want to also take this time to enjoy the time that you have with your friends and family. So now that you have that visa, it's been a long and stressful process, I'm sure, for a lot of you. And some of you are still under that. But once you have that visa, remember that till your families are able to come here and join you, or till you are able to visit them, it's going to be a bit of a gap. So take this time, enjoy your time with your families and your friends. Make sure you're getting those good memories, because it's a new place, it's a new country. We are going to do our best to support you while you're here, but you are going to miss them. So take this bit of time, have a party.
Perfect. The other question is around English proficiency, and is it compulsory for master students? If you are coming from English-speaking countries or have um, confirmation or proof of English mode of instruction, for example, if you're from Nigeria or the Philippines as two sample countries, do know that when you're submitting, we do have a list of exempted countries, and the countries that require supplementary documentation to get exemption from the English proficiency. So do reach out to us directly or your agent, and they'll give you more information around that. So I do want to break there. I apologize if I haven't gone to all your questions. Do know that we will follow up with a personalized approach, whether that be email or phone call, if you have any other questions. And again, a heartfelt thank you from myself, the team, and the IBU family. Those of you that are registering to come for January, don't forget to pack a winter jacket, but do know it'll be a beautiful, beautiful scenery. For those of you who have never seen snow, I enjoy the seasons. Right now it's fall, and I'm driving on the highway and I see a multiple of colors. It makes me smile every day, but also gets me looking forward to summer, right? So I want to say welcome, thank you, and congratulations. The first step is the hardest, and that's getting you here. Do know that everyone on that call, everyone here is here rooting on for you, and here to support you and here to celebrate you when you walk down that aisle of graduation. Congratulations, and have yourself a great morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.